Announcing the commencement of the first purge.
I want you to change the world, and don't think that this is going to happen peacefully or you can do it alone. We need to kill the rich. You get out there, you use your weapons, and you rip Washington apart. You hunt down the billionaires, the bank bosses, the CEOs, the scumbags and the liars, the governors, the lobbyists, the senators, because they're all the same, and you hang them.
Just remember all the good the purge does.
Good morning, everyone. It's August 25th, 2018. I'm Eric. How's everyone doing? I hope you're well. I'm here at Zero Hedge. Weaponizing the US dollar is accelerating. Global de-dollarization. Now, since I started making videos, I've given the opinion that SHTF would start as a financial collapse of some kind. It wasn't until recently that I recognized that it could very well be a natural disaster as well to get shit hitting the fan. Of course, if there's a big enough disaster, there will be a major financial element to it, so I wouldn't be completely wrong. This comes from Federico Paracini from the Strategic Culture Foundation. Donald Trump has, in just over 2 years, abandoned the Trans-Pacific Partnership, ditched the Transatlantic Trade and Investment Partnership, withdrawn the U.S. from the Paris Climate Agreement, and unilaterally removed American participation in the Iranian nuclear agreement known as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. Some of these decisions have undoubtedly received popular support from far beyond America's shores. Washington's withdrawal from the TPP was welcomed by the People's Republic of China. During the Obama presidency, Xi Jinping strongly protested the exclusion of Beijing from the TPP. In the case of the TTIP, European allies, for the most part, were strongly opposed to the treaty because European multinationals would be subjected to sanctions and fines from American authorities. The Climate Agreement, placing important limits on CO2 emissions as well as imposing regulations governing population, has been strongly resisted by U.S. energy oligarchs. The withdrawal from the Paris Accord has satisfied a substantial proportion of Trump's donors linked to the hydrocarbon industry and beyond. Finally, the abandonment of the JCPOA was praised by Riyadh and Tel Aviv, two essential partners in Trump's domestic and foreign strategies. Why would Riyadh and Tel Aviv have anything to do with Trump's domestic strategies? Observing the consequences of these political choices in the months since, it is easy to see how the world has reached in a more or less similar fashion, which has been by ignoring the United States and emphasizing cooperation amongst themselves. Now, in Germany, I warned that Germany is going to begin to turn on us, and they have. And just a matter of time before Germany pulls BMW from the United States. Now, I only know about the South Carolina plant, and it's right up the road here, about 20 minutes. And, you know, BMW they employ a lot of people, and a lot of businesses revolve around BMW. BMW goes. That's it for South Carolina. And all of the thousands of people who have been moving here over the last 5-10 years would have moved here for nothing. So, you know, is it a good thing? Probably. I mean, and we have enjoyed a living standard. Even America's poor, you know, I enjoy a decent living standard. I mean, for crying out loud. I have 3 laptops, an Xbox One, Xbox 360, two big ass TVs, phones, tablets. So we enjoy a pretty good standard of living here in the United States, even if you're poor like myself. And when these nations start dumping the dollar more, now Russia recently has dumped billions of dollars in bonds, I believe it was, and other nations are following suit. And, of course, that will end up causing a massive spike in inflation. In addition to withdrawing from the above treaties, Washington has started a serious trade war and is imposing tariffs on allies and enemies alike, from Russia to the EU, as well as China, South Korea, Japan, and Turkey. Everyone is facing the unprecedented decision to apply tariffs on trade. In Trump's mind, this is the only way to balance the trade deficit that has now reached more than $500 billion. In addition to the dismantled treaties and imposition of tariffs, Trump strongly criticized some pillars of the post-World War II liberal order, such as NATO and America's European allies themselves. The suggestion that NATO may be obsolete has shaken the European capitals to their core, even as the Russian Federation may see it as signaling the prospect of positive relations with the United States. Later, it was understood that Trump's strategy was to present himself before his electors with tangible achievements in this case, a substantial increase in military spending by NATO countries in Europe. Trump wants a commitment of 2% of GDP to be spent on defense, and NATO's leaders are now agreeing on the need to invest more money. Finally, the devastating blow came with the abandonment of the Iranian nuclear agreement, creating significant tensions with European allies. Washington has decided to impose sanctions on companies that that do business with Tehran from November of 2018. The EU immediately passed a law to shield EU companies from American fines, but many French and German companies appear to have already abandoned their projects in Iran, fearing Washington's retribution. I mean, we're a sovereign country, right? We should be able to trade with whom we want. I think the same goes for, France, Germany, and so on. They should be able to trade with whoever they want, and we're bullying them into remaining in agreements that are not good for them. Trump even began directly targeting historical allies, first strongly criticizing May in the UK over the slowness of Brexit, then Erdogan's Turkey for the purchase of the S-400 system, as well as the detention of an American pastor, who, by the way, was accused of participating in the attempted coup of 2016, which we all know was a staged event, and given the green light to Saudi Arabia for its commercial and political war with Qatar, a close ally of Turkey. In this uncertain and unprecedented environment, Donald Trump's best friends are Israel and Saudi Arabia, with the Italian government offering a friendly face in Europe, the only big European country not opposed to the Donald. I could have swore that Hungary wasn't opposed to him either, but I digress. The Italian government intends to present itself in contradistinction to France and Germany, returning to influencing the European decisions. We shall come to see how valid this political path is, especially in light of what Donald Trump will ask Conte in exchange for political support, especially with regard to Libya and on various trade and tariff issues. So, now, again, China has dumped our treasuries, Russia, among others, Turkey, and these things are not good for us. And it could very well be that a major financial collapse will create an environment for shit hitting the fan. So, I hope all you'll have a good day. Be on the watch out for these things, because eventually they're going to happen. Kill the state, live free.